This is the weather forecast video for Saturday, June the 4th, 2011. Let's take a look at the satellite image from last evening. You can see a complex of thunderstorms located over the UP of Michigan and southern Ontario. Another complex over central Nebraska with some cloudiness extending southwestward with a cold front that will move into the state. On the watch warning map, fairly quiet across the country at midnight last night with a severe thunderstorm watch over northern Wisconsin and the UP of Michigan, some severe thunderstorm warnings over Nebraska, some flood issues over Montana into Washington. Otherwise, it's quiet. Here's the severe weather outlook for today and tonight. A slight risk of severe weather extending from southeastern and east central Nebraska eastward into southern half of Iowa, mainly south of Highway 20, northern Missouri, northern Illinois, most of Indiana, most of Ohio, southern lower Michigan into western Pennsylvania. The main threats for severe weather will be here, damaging wind, where the highest threats will be from about Des Moines eastward to south of Chicago, Indianapolis, into Toledo, Ohio. This will include the southeastern 25% of the state. And the other threat will be large hail, which will be mainly in the slight risk area south of about Missouri Valley to Dubuque line. Tornado threat will be non-existent, which is why this is not listed. Here's the significant tornado parameter, and at 7 p.m. this evening, and it shows very low values across the southern part of the state, values barely reaching 3 and 4 across the state, so tornado potential is fairly low. Here's the supercell potential at 7 p.m. this evening. You see some high numbers over southwestern Iowa and some over the east central portion of the state. So any storms that form could become supercells with some hail and damaging winds. Here's the significant severe weather parameter at 7 p.m. this evening. You can see high numbers south of Missouri Valley Dubuque line or south of that slight risk area where the slight risk is outlooked. Here's the CAPE values at 7 p.m. this evening from one of the WRF models from the University of Illinois. And this is pretty average of all the models on here, showing CAPE values about 3 to 4,000. And here's the capping layer showing that there'll be little, if any, cap south of south over the south, but some higher CAPE values over the north, but there'll be no CAPE there. So here's the QPF chart precipitation over the next 5 days to Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock, and most of the precipitation over the next 5 days will occur today and into tonight, with a slight chance on Monday, so the half to 1 inch of rain will be across the state. Here's the GFS Model Run, the 0Z run at 1 p.m. today. You can see big trough over the west coast, another over just east of New England with a big ridge over the southern part of the country. And you can see on the northern periphery of that ridge a bit of a weak disturbance or cold front moving through the Great Lakes and into the Central Plains, which will be sparking off the showers and thunderstorms across the southern half of the state. Sunday, you can see that the showers will be moving out, so Sunday morning could see some possible showers over the far east. Otherwise, it will be clearing and slightly cooler, highs in the 80s. Monday, model shows a possibility of an isolated shower or storm, likely 20%. Temperatures will still be in the lower to middle 80s. Dew points will be in the lower to middle 60s. Tuesday will be dry. Southwesterly winds aloft. Temperatures will start to climb back into the mid to upper 80s to near 90, with slightly higher dew points approaching 70 degrees. Wednesday, same story, likely hot and humid with temperatures in the 80s and lower 90s in some areas with dew points near 70, so heat indices near 100 are possible. Thursday, there could be a slight chance of a shower with a disturbance in the area. The model shows some precipitation just west and south of the state, so a 20% chance across the state is probable. Friday, the chances will likely be going up, with precipitation likely 30 to 40% with temperatures in the 80s. Severe weather, too early to determine at this time. Heading a week from today, you can see that ridge that has been over the southern half of the country begins to shift to the east. We're over a southwesterly flow with a few vortexes, one over North Dakota and Montana, where a surface low will be centered. And here it shows a possible complex of storms moving into the state next weekend, but this is on the edge of voodoo, so we will have to look at this into the future. We move into voodoo country. Here's the 16th. You can see a fairly zonal flow over the country with no real frontal systems about. At the surface, you can see some showers and storms around, mainly from the afternoon heating. Temperatures will likely be near seasonal averages. And at the end of the forecast period on June the 19th, you can see a ridge over the southwest, another one forming over the southeast, a bit of a trough over the center part of the country, otherwise a zonal flow, with the main storm track still near the U.S.-Canadian border, and still some chances of some showers and thunderstorm complexes with the summertime heating over the state. Thank you for tuning in to the weather forecast video. We'll have another one tomorrow.